Training staff works on him. We'll step aside and be right back. They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. On now, the Steelers' second-year punter. This is Australian-born Jordan Berry. Taking it about the 16. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bengals take possession. Cincinnati now ready to take the field, and they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys are a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. And that linebacker group today could be very key.
As we were preparing for this game, you pointed out to me as we were watching film that the linebackers look like an elite unit. I agree with you totally. They move around, fly to the football, and take it away from offenses.
To throw here, Dalton voids the target, and he has it over the middle. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one. The Steelers insert their nickel defense.
Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And they will set up shop with outstanding field position in the red zone at the 17-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. 2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. 5 wides in the game. 4 of them to the right side. Here's Roethlisberger, and his throw's going to be incomplete. He was trying to find Ladarius Green there as tight end. 3rd down here. The defensive starters now for Cincinnati.
Adam Jones is a really talented cornerback who's having a career renaissance.
And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Now Ben on 3rd and long. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. From the left hash, this from 37. And Boswell has this one going left, no good. He missed it left, and this will remain a scoreless game. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
He'll start on the ground here with Bernard. And he'll push his way forward to about the 32. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
2nd down and 4. Again, here's Bernard. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. At 5 yards on the play there, it's a drive will continue.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. And incomplete on the deep ball. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down. And on 2nd and 10 now.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy down.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by the former first-rounder, Justin Gilbert. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they have to feel like they missed on an opportunity for points last time when they couldn't connect on that short field goal try.
And no doubt about it, because they were counting on those points. In today's NFL, let's face it, that's really a chip shot, right?
That's anything inside 40.
Yeah, they're counting on that going through the post. But we've seen it happen to teams before. Some of the best kickers in the world can miss kicks like that. Can they come back now and redeem themselves?
So 2nd and 10 here.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. Vincent Ray, the linebacker, in on the tackle.
I go all the way back to college with Le'Veon Bell. One of the better body transformations I've seen, from a big, thick power back to the guy we see now who can do everything.
And 2 years ago, of course, last year the injury, but 2 years ago over 1,300 yards. I think they think he can top that this year.
I don't think there's any question about it.
Here's Jordan Berry now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because
there goes Jeremy Hill. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jeremy Hill, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. And he's got it to make it 7-0 Bengals. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. On the return, here's Dree Archer. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play. The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on 3rd and inches. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. So there you go, holding by the offense, and that'll push him back.
Changes everything now as you try and figure out what your playbook has for you. Longer yardage situations, tougher to execute and pick up first downs.
After the penalty, it's Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, you see the end result, because what you're doing there, you mentioned the counter. You're using your offensive linemen sometimes to pull or move to influence the defensive front to go in that direction and create the space back in the other side and block it appropriately. But you're exactly right. Didn't move him, sat there waiting for him and made the play.
Over the middle here to Coates. A good pickup there, 18 yards as they get closer for third down.
They hit that crossing route really well. Excellent timing, puts it right on him, and he keeps running.
Yeah, turned it upfield for good yardage. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 3rd and 6 here to start things out. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. On third down, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and that just continued there with that incompletion.
And definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This will be taken at the 10. 31 yards on the punt there. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in, because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. They'll run it here with Bernard. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
And that's why you see so many teams play a 3-4 defense, because that set gives you a lot of flexibility about where to bring pressure from, and it's hard for an offense to pick it up. Left side, right side, up the middle, especially with some really flexible linebackers.
Let's see what the defense dials up here. 3rd and 4. Third down from the gun, Dalton. He's got his man, Boyd. And that one good for 16 yards and a 1st. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Now a toss play to Bernard. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That play definitely goes down as a win for the defense, as they were able to get there and tackle him for a loss. But you just got the sense that the runner kept looking for a space to turn upfield, and it kept getting strung out towards the sidelines before the defense finally finished him off.
So the offense dealing with a 3rd and 6. Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And able to find Green. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again.
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well, because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way. This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, He's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Andy Dalton. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. They're just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
And they pick up a first down, and that came out of the fullback position. But as you and I both know, that doesn't necessarily mean it's a fullback playing in that spot.
Well, times have changed, right? The old school fullback doesn't really exist anymore.
We're not getting that same player out of college with all the spread offenses, not very many pro style, where you actually have a true fullback. We're having to make do in the NFL and put guys in that spot who emulate it but aren't necessarily that position. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. They'll run again with Bernard. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third. Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well conceived, well designed, and even better executed.
To throw here, Dalton. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag.
I really don't know where to go with this one. He caught the pass, but in the opposite direction towards his own end zone. That's not one you get every game.
Long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field. Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? A dump off now to Hill. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jeremy Hill with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And it's good to make it 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Adam Jones. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Eifert, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And it is now 21-0. The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT. Over the middle here to Brown. The 15 yards there on the catch and run. And connection number 1 there on the game, Roethlisberger to Boney Tony. Antonio Brown, that's what his high school teammates used to call him.
I wonder what they would call him now.
More muscular, more successful Boney Tony Brown, right?
I'd say you're probably right. It may be all of that. They'll still call him Boney Tony, but Ben Roethlisberger calls him my number 1 target.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. They come up in an offset eye. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Ten yards still left on second down. Second and 10 now. It's Roethlisberger. He's got time in the pocket. Looking. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Adam Jones. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. Now, last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
Yeah, we'll see if it's that easy here. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton over the middle, and it's incomplete. Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line. And that one results in 35 yards. And now a first down following that long gain. They come up in an offset eye. Now a play fake here on first down. His throw caught at about the 5. He got 29 yards that time. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, got stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run here with Bernard. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. Giovanni Bernard in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bengals add on to their lead. Here's Bullock now for the extra point. It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And this will be a touchback. And as we saw in week 1, the new rule, this one coming out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Watch left, watch left, watch left. He's done right there. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. That, 180.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Now, whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the second quarter. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Final play of the half. It's Roethlisberger. Escaping the pressure right. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down to Orlando as we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry, both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. They come up in an offset eye. On second down, it's Bell. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Just a couple there on the second down run. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8 situation.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're not doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
Fresh set of downs here. 1 receiver left, 2 to the right. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's second down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
They'll come up now in the Wildcat package. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Now Bernard. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
So now at 3rd and 12 with an extra defender here in the secondary, a nickel look. And Eifert has it. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They come out here in the eye. Now a carry for Bernard. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. First down marker at the 31. It's 3rd down. 3rd down from the gun. Dalton caught Eifert over the middle. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere. In the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Here's Bernard. Bernard churning, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. It's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone, trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. So he got his hands a little too far outside. The ref caught him, threw the flag.
Well, that wasn't just a loss. That was a loss of big yardage there. So the sense you're starting to get is that offensively, things are starting to pile up against them, and they've got to find a way to stop that. Conversely, how about the great call by the defensive coordinator? He realized that he's got him on the run.
And big bit intercepted a third time. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. They stay on the ground. This time it's Hill. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left.
From this vantage point, that seems like a pretty dangerous call, running a toss that close to your own goal line. I think what they were hoping is that they were going to get some pressure from the defensive front and maybe beat them to the corner and then turn upfield with a lot of yardage to run.
On 3rd down, here's Hill. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is Archer. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. 2nd down following the run. They'll go again with Bell. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
And that's another stop for the defense. Something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
And the offense in that middle ground here on 3rd down. 3rd and 5. 5 wides in the game. 4 of them to the right side. Now it's Roethlisberger. He gets it to Brown. Complete. A gain of 7, and they pick up the first.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. And this defense continues to give them fits. They just can't get really anything going on the ground, can they?
I love the theme that you just brought up. This defense has been tough all game long against the run. We just saw another example of it there.
Now it's Roethlisberger finding time. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
3rd down here for the offense after the incomplete pass. A fake to Bell. Now it's Roethlisberger rolling to his right. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on fourth down. And able to find Green. 19 yards there on the pickup. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on fourth and long. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro, Geno Atkins, breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. 5 wides in the game, 4 of them to the right side. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Incomplete. Marcus Wheaton was the one he was looking for. And now it's third down.
It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball, and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Maliluga. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Now, that's a decent amount of aggressiveness right there. Inside their own 10-yard line, they still run the toss, even though they know that that can be a little bit of a dangerous play, and it pays off pretty well with a nice run.
On second down, Hill. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he gets this one up just shy of the 35 to the 34. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Time running out here on the play clock. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on first down. They did that, plus 3.
And they'll go on the ground. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
They come out here in the eye. And Dalton hands to Hill. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Fielded at the 20. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares?
And my goodness, another interception. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. short throw pick six right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one taken just inside the 10. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Second down now after the incompletion. They come up in an offset eye. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And now here is another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Ray Maualuga. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column too.
So for the Bengals, they did what they needed to do. They split their first 2 road games of the year. And they'll be back home next week to take on the Denver Broncos. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, they will fall to 1-1. And they'll look to get back in the winning column next week as they head to Philly to face off with the Eagles. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.